You are now tuned in to the STL Bucket List Show. This show is supported by stlouisarts.org, your place to explore everything that makes St. Louis so special, creative, and vibrant. From music, theater, festivals, galleries, comedy, and more, head over to stlouisarts.org to find your vibe today.
If you want to hear about St. Louis, tune into the Bucket List Show weekly. Hear what Marissa and Luke say. It drops every Wednesday. Got a dope new guest every single week. Buckle up for the ride. Who's it gonna be? Who's on the show today? They rep St. Louis. What to do in the loo on a late night, or maybe what to do on a date night. Yeah, Bucket List has you covered. They know what's going on. What's going on? They'll give you, hey, 18 different things to do, or 19 if you need one more to choose. Yeah, this city is a place we call home. A place we call home, yeah.
Ladies, gents, Tecovas Boots and Western Goods are coming to St. Louis, and you're invited to their grand opening event Friday and Saturday, September 29th and 30th at Plaza Frontenac. They'll have live music, free drinks, and swag bags all weekend long. Stop by, grab a cold one, and let their knowledgeable staff get you fitted and acquainted with their mighty comfortable, handcrafted pair of boots that you'll enjoy for years to come. September 29th and 30th at Plaza Frontenac. Tecovas, don't go gently. We'll see you there. What's up, St. Louis? It's your host, Luke Farrell of the STL Bucket List Show. We have a very special episode today. My other host is on the other side of the table today, so I'm going to do the intro. Before I get into it, I got to shout out my friends over at the stlouisarts.org, which was the Regional Arts Commission of St. Louis, along with our friends at Wine and Cheese Place and Spirit Wine and Craft in South City, and everybody that's involved with our show, including Matt in the back. It is his birthday today, so we're not going to sing him happy birthday. My birthday was yesterday, so we're going to hold off on that. But yeah, we have a very special episode today. We don't get to do this often. As most of you guys know, our podcast is focused on the people, and we bring in new people each and every week. But sometimes we get to talk to each other, which is fun. And we get to learn a little bit more about our host. And it's episode 84. So what better way?
Double.
So I'm going to introduce our guest, Marissa Farrell, formerly known as Marissa Thomas.
That's right.
How are you
my
today?
Name. I'm good. I just got off work and now I'm here, and it's just the tables have turned. I'm on the other side of the table.
Yeah,
so.
You've been on podcasts before, though.
I record a podcast myself every single week, but also, yeah, I've been a guest on a podcast.
Did you ever think when you were younger that you were going to be a podcast host?
No.
What did you want to be when you were younger?
I didn't even know what podcasts were up until like the last few years, but whenever I was younger, I wanted to be a pediatrician.
Oh, really?
I wanted to be a doctor and work with children.
For a pediatrician, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
So if anybody's listening.
But yeah, I wanted to be a pediatrician. I like to play like doctor in house. So if you think about it, obviously pediatrician was working with children, and in some element and form, I am still doing that. So I think at the end of the day, for me, obviously working with kids is always kind of in the picture.
Yeah, because that's what you're doing now.
Yes.
You're a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to kind of bring it back a little bit, just so I can learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
So we like to ask our guests on the show just a little bit about them growing up, their childhood, different things like that. So if you want to get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into some of it. I am from O'Fallon, Missouri. That's really where I grew up. I have a big family, blended family, and I am born from my dad, Gunzi, and a mother who is like Voldemort, like shall remain nameless. But I've got 2 full blood sisters, and then I've got a lot of half siblings, which we don't count that. Like siblings are siblings to me. So 4 sisters, 2 brothers. I am the second oldest, and I grew up. I went to the Wentzville School District, and then, which is obviously where we met. And then I graduated from the Fort Zumwalt School District. After high school, I did my 2 free years at St. Charles Community College, where I originally was studying business marketing, which is quite interesting because obviously that's what you do. And then, somewhere in there, I was like, no, I think I want to. At some point in high school, I was like, I definitely wanted to be a teacher. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll teach business. And then I was like, I'll just study business. And then I totally went back to the trade of teaching. So I graduated from UMSL and did 4 years there, graduated in 2020, have my degree in secondary English education. And then in the years down the road, after this baby comes and life settles, my goal is to eventually become a principal.
Really?
Yes, you know this. Yeah,
Wow.
a principal.
That's impressive. So speaking of this baby coming, how does that make you feel?
I'm excited and nervous. Honestly, it's been a really easygoing pregnancy. It's been a big blessing in terms of like everything has gone really smoothly. I mean, besides the whole like sickness at the beginning, you know, I feel good and she's growing good. I'm healthy. And I think like somewhere in my mind always that was like a worry because I'm just like a tiny little skinny twig. And so it was just always a worry of like, can I properly like grow a human being? But we're doing good. And just as the time's going, I'm like, shit, I'm going to be a mom. I'm going to raise a human being. And there's just a lot of things that like happen that you don't always think about when you're planning to be a parent. I mean, besides the physical changes, but like mentally just wrapping your mind around obviously the conversations we have of like what we want her to look like in terms of like how we'll bring her up into the world. So which I always enjoy those conversations of things that are important to us. But yeah, it's an exciting time. It's just going fast.
It really is. I mean, I feel like, and for the people that are listening, I think they were the first ones to kind of find out, but we had announced it on the podcast just a few months ago. But we're already 6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
Through. So before we know it, little baby's going to be here. Little daughter to be named.
Not to be named. She's already named, but
We're not
for
dropping
everyone else's ears.
So yeah, I think that, you know, we kind of fast forwarded through some times, but like, you know, growing up as a young person, you have these things that you want in life. And was being a mom, was that something that you always wanted?
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
Why?
If I think about it, it makes me honestly emotional. Like I could cry, but like I would say like in terms of my personality, I'm just kind of like that nurturing type. Like I think that's always been who I was. Like even as a little girl, if like my parent was sleeping on the couch, I would like cover them up with a blanket, you know, or like just I think I don't know if it's a matter of being a big sister, like that role is built into you to like take care and have empathy for others. But I knew for me, I always wanted kids. I always enjoyed having siblings, whether we got along all the time or not. Like just having that big family. I've got a lot of cousins that are close in age. Like that was important to me. And so I knew like for my life and my future that I wanted to have that. Specifically, I always dreamed of having honestly a little girl because I mean, and if we were having a boy, I would be equally as happy. Like true, I would. Like I definitely was like totally adapting and like okay with that idea.
Idea.
Well, yeah, it's an idea, but like I don't know. It's just a mother-daughter relationship for me is a very emotional, complicated thing. Like my birth mom is just not in the picture. And that's, you know, by choice. And then I had this mom who was, you know, didn't birth me, but loved me like she did. And she passed away 3 years ago. And she taught me so much and was with me through every role of my life and every step of my life. And like, even though she's not here anymore, there's a lot that I took away from just her raising me. And so like, it's an emotional thing for me to go through and like, it excites me. And I think I just always knew that like the things I saw as a kid, like I'm very reflective. And so it was like, this is what I do want to do as a mom. And this is what I don't want to do as a mom. And so like, I think I always just knew that like it was going to be done my way with a partner who supported that way.
Supported your way.
So thank you for supporting that way. Yeah.
No, we've got to do, I mean, the last 6 months have been, you know, a big change, mostly for you. But
Yeah.
I'm adapting
You
to
too.
everything and me too. And I think that having a baby with you is super special because we built our life together and it's just the next phase of what we're doing. We just painted the nursery, you know, had that nice dusty pink or what was it called?
Yeah.
Something
it's like
pink.
a dusty rose
Rose or whatever. And just being able to go through all those things together with you makes it so much easier and so much more fun and fulfilling. But On a bright note, you do love your job as a teacher. I hear about it all the time. Every time you come home, you're super involved. You do all the extracurriculars. You're after school a lot. When you decided to become a teacher, what was that pivotal moment when you were in business school, when you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather go teach high school kids?
I don't know if there was a pivotal moment. I would say like a pretty concrete moment in terms of like, I was kicking ass and taking names in my marketing classes. I was doing really, really well. And when I was getting to the end of graduating, my parents were like, what exactly in marketing do you want to do? I couldn't like pinpoint what that looks like. I had this like made up dream. I don't even know if it's made up, but I was like, I want to work for Anheuser-Busch and I want to market beer and I want to throw parties to promote beer because I loved beer and like I was a party girl and like I liked the idea of planning and I just thought that would be cool, but it was like I did really well, but it wasn't like there was a passion, I guess, to it. And so whenever it was time to start applying for university and I was like, well, maybe I'll teach business, UMSL does not offer an educational business program. So it's like you have to pick an elective: science, math, English.
What was it about teaching though? Like,
well, and so then with I was like, I think I'm just kind of in that role of like being a mentor and like I just like working with kids and it's just something that I think was like, I don't know, quiet whisper in your mind that it's like, do this, do this, do this. Like it was something I dreamed about doing once upon a time ago and it kind of just came back. So then I went into teaching English at UMSL, and part of the thing I really enjoy about UMSL is like you have practicums. So it's like you're taking classes and you're like literally studying literature, right? And so on top of that, the other side of it, because you're a minor in education, you are taking classes to learn how to teach. And so you have these things called practicums and you go into the classroom at various grade levels. And I just enjoyed working with kids. Like I did, I worked with the 4th grade class, loved it. I worked, did student teaching with high school. So you're still getting exposed to that practice. And it just, I don't know, it was natural. I just loved it. And it's clear to me, like I'm super reflective and aware of like what works for me and what doesn't. And I was like, yeah, this is it. So I love it. I talk about it all the time, probably every day. There's something to share. But yeah, it's definitely the path. If I were doing anything else, it would be planning something like weddings. Like I'm definitely organized, but that's going
to be our next thing.
That will be the next phase of life. Like after I retire from education in my 50s, I'll like start like another business or something. But yeah,
wedding venue, wedding events,
industry. Yeah.
Daycare. No.
Or that maybe.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So a lot of people know teachers. A lot of people have family members that are teachers. A lot of people know and have friends that are teachers. But what's like a misconception that you would say that people think about teachers?
I knew you were going to ask that
Why
question.
did you know I was going to ask that?
I just knew you would. A misconception. I don't know. Like you get summers off. Yeah, we do. Like we're not clocking into school, but like mentally there's still a point at the end of summer where you have to start planning for your year.
It's really not summer. It's like 2 months. It's like a month and a half.
And it is. It's like 10 weeks really. Yeah. So I mean like that's like equivalent to like what maternity leave would be.
It is nice.
Oh, it's but also like this is something I will say is like people who are like, oh, teachers get summers off. Like, yeah, if you got 10 weeks off of your job, think of how much more productive you would be, right? But also there's a capacity that like we reach that I don't chew me out on this, but like other jobs don't have. Seriously. No, I mean, true. If I could compare it to something, it's like you are number one, you have a helping hand in raising people's kids who come from all different backgrounds and all different ideals of life. And so trying to manage all of these different behaviors and cultures, that's not easy. Also, it's high school kids. So you've got a various level of maturity levels. And then, you've got kids who have special needs, right? Like they learn different ways. And so like you go into your job and you're like, okay, I'm going to have this meeting, and it's just like, this is what you get, right? But like you have to differentiate your lessons. You have to meet all of these different requirements for kids. You have to check in with the boss who's like, same thing like you. I mean, you are your own boss, but again, everyone else who you work for is also your boss, right? Like I feel like that's like a equivalent to like a principal, is someone who's tracking and monitoring how you're doing. And it's just a lot of pieces. And then it's like, you're repeating yourself 20 times a day. And it's like you say something and kids are like, wait, what are we doing? And it's like, it's mentally draining. So yeah, those 10 weeks, they're well deserved.
So the misconception is like you deserve those 10 weeks.
The misconception is that we don't deserve it, and that like, teachers complain about being exhausted, or like shouldn't complain because they get summers off. But really,
Shout out teachers. I know your job is hard. Your job is definitely way harder than mine. I think that I deal with unique problems that are different than the problems that you deal with. But I think that the average person doesn't deal with the parent emails and all the extra stuff that comes with being a teacher, and then the work outside of work. Like, although we both work outside of work on Sundays, we work all day long just to get ready for the week, and I love that we do that together. But the grading and the other stuff that's on top of what you already do during your regular 8 to 3 or 7 to 3 schedule. So shout out teachers. I know we have a lot of teachers that listen to the podcast. So I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to have a quick word from our sponsor. There's a really cool event coming up. It's a real estate event, so we'll be right back.
Hey, St. Louis, my name is Peyton Gillis. I'm a CPA, and we help business owners, real estate investors, and other professionals use the same tax-savvy strategies utilized by the ultra-wealthy in corporate America to save thousands in taxes each year. I'm very excited to be hosting an advanced real estate tax planning workshop. The event will be held live in O'Fallon, Missouri on October 26th, with an option to attend virtually as well. The goal, to help educate investors and professionals on how to leverage the lucrative tax benefits of real estate to improve their ROIs, increase their overall portfolios, and accelerate their wealth building journeys. So whether you're a new or a seasoned real estate investor, if you're serious about building wealth through real estate, I promise this will be an event you do not want to miss.
So we're back. Marissa Farrell, formerly known as Marissa Thomas, has the last name. We've been hosting the podcast for 84 consecutive weeks. It's almost 2 years. What is one of your favorite moments on the podcast?
Oh, God.
We've had a lot of them.
I need advance notice.
Well, I sent you the questions. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I didn't send her the questions. I don't do that.
I don't know. What was the question again?
Your favorite moments on the podcast.
Honestly, like I don't have a favorite moment. I just enjoy.
What's your favorite thing about it?
I like coming. I like engaging with other people. For me, like it's just a nice way to connect to people that I would not have the opportunity to do. And then also, like, I am really just a good listener, and I enjoy hearing people's stories. Like, I like hearing about people's upbringings. I like hearing about like why people chose the path that they did. I think that's important to just inspire yourself and motivate yourself of like what it is that you're doing. Again, teachers talk all the time about like, I would say like the most cliche thing is like, they always say, what's your why? What's your why? Like, why did you choose this? But like, I think anyone can apply that to what they do. So I just enjoy listening to everybody's stories, and some I really like better than others and can connect to more. But like for the most part, I just enjoy coming every week and like just meeting a new person.
Do you like your co-host?
I do like my co-host. He's cool.
I just didn't hear you mention me at all, so I just didn't know.
Yeah, I love working with you. I that's a big part of it, is like coming every Tuesday, but and just kind of collaborating, and I do the questions and write the show notes, and I like seeing like your creative talents of like making the not flyers, but like the post for the socials and like that. I could never do that until like just seeing the technique of what you do. I appreciate that.
You're inspired by me.
Yeah, you inspire me. Yeah.
No, my favorite thing about the podcast is just doing it with you. I don't care who we interview. I know we interview a ton of talented people, entrepreneurs, artists, people that have built
we're
incredible
84
businesses.
episodes in. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you pick over almost 2 years?
We've had,
right?
So many incredible episodes. And if you guys go back to episode 52, it was our year anniversary episode. And we had a lot of cool snippets from some of our favorite guests that we've had on. All of our guests are favorite, but these are just our favorite moments inside of the episodes.
And that was early on. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was within the first year. But yeah, I think that, there's a time commitment that comes to doing this show. I mean, a lot of people think
Definitely.
it's just showing up and doing it, but there's a lot of late nights where we're forget to do the prep, and we have to then make sure that they have the episode notes before they go live on YouTube and Google and all the other platforms that we put it on. And that's like a lot of work. So we,
It is a lot. And then Tuesday, Monday I stay after school and do tutoring. And so I don't leave till 4. And then today, on Tuesdays, I don't leave till 4:30. And so those are 2 days of my week that I'm just getting home late and a girl is tired. So yeah, it's definitely a time commitment, but I enjoy it.
what if we started doing 2 episodes a week?
No,
Nope.
especially right now. No.
No, we're too busy for that. But so let's talk about my businesses and what.
I thought this was my episode.
No, it is your episode.
Okay.
But I was going to ask you a question if you would let me continue. So what does it feel like, being married to somebody that starts businesses and works crazy?
It's really hard.
Yeah. Can you explain that more?
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, it's really hard. It's I feel like it's a practice. It's like I feel like I've gotten better at it and understanding how to be patient. I think patience is the key word to being married to someone who does what you do. Just having your own business. You are the number one person of contact. You are the number one person who cares the most in your job. And for me, just to see any stress that you have, makes me just, I don't know, sad. It makes me sad sometimes because I'm like, oh my gosh, you're shedding gears off your life by the stress. But, or there's times where I feel like boundaries in terms of our time and our nights or our weekends are violated by your work, which I understand. Mine is at various times where yours is all the time. Mine is the end of a unit every 6 weeks. I've got essays to grade and that takes a lot of time, where for you it's more time commitment. And I would say now 4 years into it, I certainly appreciate what you do and the hard work, and I appreciate it a lot, but it is definitely a challenge because sometimes I just selfishly want undevoted attention.
Exactly.
Not that I'm needy, because I'm really not that kind of girl at all, but I would say in the last year or so I've definitely
you've
pulled back on.
And I think we've just had conversations of I just need to do this when I need to do it. And there's a lot of times I don't actually need to do it. I'm so obsessed.
You just lie to me and say that it has to be done.
I wouldn't say lie. I don't think the client or whatever, the partner or the employee says I need to get it done then. But if I don't, then I just forget. I'm not very good. I have to do it right away.
Yeah. But I get that too. Whenever I was saying that you work for the clients, it's sometimes I want to be back off. It's Sunday night, people. He is with his family, go be with yours. And as this time of working on the pod has come, it seems to be the same story for all the entrepreneurs of it's just really hard. And you always ask what the secret sauce is, and no one really has it, but that's okay. So I think hearing that helps me realize it's not just you. It's
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very tough, but I'm really starting to balance it more, and I'm just and part of that is just bringing in more people because everybody needs help. Nobody can do anything alone. But yeah, that's nice. That's nice. The last year has been nice. Been working on some things, been getting some stuff going.
Yeah.
Really exciting. But yeah, I think that when you're an entrepreneur, I think it's a lot like your job. You have to come up with your own lesson plans. You have to manage your own employees, which in your case, the employees are your kids, which are a lot harder to manage than adult employees. So I think that it's similar in that way. But let's talk a little bit about STL Bucket List and, you know, the stuff that we did back in the day and like all the work. So like what was like your first memory of doing something with STL Bucket List?
Probably the Wheelhouse St. Patrick's Day brunch.
That was our
the
first
green
post.
mimosas, and then Ted Drew's.
Yeah, the Wheelhouse green mimosa was our first post, which was like March 2019. Just crazy. That's so long ago. It's almost 5 years ago now.
Yeah, it's my first memory is going there and then just getting the lights on Ted Drew's and I don't know, just doing just you and me. Like just whenever it was just you and I, and that's who did it, and it was like our creative expression, and then it was time to open it up.
Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff. What about like the first time? I can't remember like the first dinner that we went to, or like the first time somebody sent us something in the mail. And I was like, dude, we just got like a free pizza.
Someone dropped pizzas off. I don't remember where it was from, but yeah.
Beers, like it was like random stuff. People would just start dropping it off.
Honestly,
I know like the Jasper Paul from Katie and all them would always like drop stuff off and like want us to post it.
And that was like prime COVID time. So yeah, I don't remember like what, but I definitely remember that time.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty crazy how things evolve and how things grow, and what it's turned into is now this just beast of a podcast and multiple businesses and crazy stuff. We just keep doubling down into more things, and I don't know if we'll ever stop doing that, but
I think we will.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have to.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we're just like managing our time better and just, you know, being there, and especially when January comes, so we can be together with our baby and enjoy that time, because you don't get that time back. You know, everybody always says that, you know, they're like, soak up those times when they're little. So
Yeah.
What do you think I'm going to be like as a dad?
I think you're gonna be learning from me a lot. Honestly, you are. You just don't have the awareness that I do, and I'm not saying that as like a man versus woman thing. I'm saying that as someone who nannied for people and taught in early childhood for 6 years, and had babysitting gigs from 17 years old all the way up till right before we got married.
Like a year ago.
I've got a lot of practice and patience, and so it's going to be interesting to see. Not that I think you'll flop. I don't think that. I think you're going to be successful and hands-on and super like wanting to get it right. But I'm excited to see you become a dad. I think you're going to
like me more.
I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be like a whole another scale and level, and especially a girl dad, that's a totally different thing, and it's not for the weak. So
so I've heard.
Be prepared, but you're an empathetic guy anyway. Like, that's why I married you. You have respect and love, and I think you're going to be great. So you're just going to have to learn a whole lot of stuff. But I got you.
You got me. What are you going to teach me?
I don't know. Whatever comes up.
Yeah. No, I'm excited, and I know that I'm going to lean on you a lot for that, and I think that it's just going to be special, and I think as that happens, like, things that we do are going to be different, and I'm excited for all that. I mean, we've experienced so much stuff together, and we still are. It's just going to be different. Now we're going to be a unit. Now we're a trio.
Yep.
And then hopefully more after that. So, we can talk about it. But it is the STL Bucket List show. I wanted to keep it nice and short this week, guys. I know you guys spend an hour with us every week, so I wanted to keep it nice and short. But I want to figure out where Marissa Farrell hangs out on the weekends, where she goes to eat at. What are some of the activities that are bucket list spots for you to do with you and your friends, or you and your husband, which is me? What are some of those spots? I know a lot of people have been asking. I know we put out one for Women's History Month, but it could have changed by then. But.
Yeah. I would say, obviously I like going to the parks. We were on that kick. You got a little lazy on me.
Me?
But yeah, going to a park every Sunday.
Yeah, we were trying to hike every single Sunday, and we kind of fell off. It got really hot.
You did. Well, it got too hot. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna pass out, but now it's football, and so.
Well, we just got to go early before the kickoff.
But just exploring parks. I love Tower Grove. Love Forest Park. Those are two that I like to go to often. And then dinner. I love Yellow Belly. I crave it all the time. The Spam fried rice. I got my best friend hooked on it. Now she's like, I dream about it. I'm like, girl, I know it's the best.
It is good. Should get that.
Yeah, I'd be down for. I'm down for Yellow Belly anytime, all the time.
And cocktails are great too.
I also love the back patio on Adira.
Yeah.
I know those are both in the West End. Whenever I could drink, honestly, just, I don't know if this is, and this isn't, I wouldn't even say like my favorite place. It's just like a good Monday spot is like when me and Maggie would go get sangria on Onesto's patio because it was like half price pitchers and like
That's a good spot. You can get
the
a $14
last time
pitcher.
I did that was back in May, and that was like the week before I found out I was pregnant. So that was like the last drink I had, and I'm
Was
like,
it?
yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
it was.
It was like mid-May, and we went, and I was really sick after, and I was like, what's going on? And that's when we found out. But I miss the patio at Onesto too.
Yeah, good half price
It's just like right in
appetizers.
the neighborhood. So and good happy hour. Gosh, I don't know. During the summer, I like going to yoga. I always do the free yoga with Citra Movement and Fitness every Tuesday. This Sunrise Yoga down in Keener Plaza every Tuesday, 7 a.m. That is something that I had the luxury of doing on my summer break that now I do not have anymore. So that's a bummer, but definitely a favorite. I don't know. Am I missing something that I feel like?
No, it's your bucket list.
I know, but like, you know.
Well, like,
Things.
what about like, I know we talked about food, but like, I know you like have some foodie spots that you really like going to.
Yeah, I listed them. Yellow Belly, Adira. I like Onesto. I love picking up Miley after the pod. I think I say that every week anyway.
Yeah, Nudo House too.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good bucket list.
That's what I have. That's what I can think of at the moment. So,
I know I kind of put you on the spot a little bit here.
yeah, lack of preparation. It's fine. We had a quick turnaround, but I don't know, any like little market or something going on. I love I like to get oh my gosh, help me, from the Foundry. What's my like go to? Poke bowl. The poke
Hello
bowl.
Pokey.
Yeah, that place is good.
Yeah.
In the Foundry, I enjoy that.
You'll get that. Sushi, but you can't eat sushis right
Yeah,
now.
like it's just like right now. I think I'm thinking with pregnancy brain, and I'm like, what can I
Eat right
currently have that I've been enjoying? So
Cool.
that's it.
Thank you, Marissa.
Exhilarating stuff.
Hey, what'd you say? Exhilarating?
Exhilarating
Stuff.
Yep.
Well, thank you for coming on for an impromptu episode. I really appreciate you for coming out to the studio. And do you want to drop anything where people can follow you?
No, I stay private for a reason. No.
Yeah, you won't. If you try to follow her, you I don't know. She'll have
Your
to
request will sit in my request box like unseen for years.
Literal years.
Yeah.
So we will do that, and we will see you guys on the podcast next weekend. Thank you for tuning in to a special episode as we interviewed Marissa for the first time ever. So some of you guys can learn a little bit about her, and if you want to catch up with what she's doing, and check it out. See you guys next week. All right, see you guys next week.
Today they rep St. Louis, yeah. They rep St. Louis. They rep St. Louis.